I'm a veteran of 8 national presidential campaigns. I spent 35 years in the corroded rectum of the two-party system.
There's the quote of the day.
Our system is broken.
All my Democratic friends reflected an increasing lack of ease with Hillary Clinton's candidacy. Her unfavorables are climbing. She's mired in this email scandal. She's on defense. She's explaining, and when you're explaining in politics, you're losing. Look, voters need to know that Jeb Bush got a $4 million taxpayer-financed personal bailout from the federal government when Daddy was vice president. They need to know that. Presidential politics is about big picture sweeping issues and a few memorable phrases to get people to understand them, to retain them. It's not about 20-point plans. Ask Newt Gingrich how that works out. It's not about being the wonk in chief. I don't think that's what the voters are looking for either. The problem here is career politicians. It's both parties, Republican and Democrat. The Republican Party has morphed into the same as the Democratic Party, the big money party, the Wall Street Party. It's not incidental that the people who are funding Hillary are funding Jeb Bush. They're the same entrenched financial interests. You know what they like? The status quo. That's what they like. Trump has the size and the style and the boldness to be president. First of all, Trump doesn't put all of his eggs in the tax reduction basket. It's very pro-growth, but Trump is the only one who would have the freedom from special interests to really cut spending. No career politician will ever really cut spending. Other than Ronald Reagan, he is the most charismatic and interesting and kind of larger-than-life figure that I worked for. The ruling class, the political establishment, they are wetting their britches over the rise of Donald Trump. They didn't see this. Why? Because Trump cannot be controlled. Because he's independently wealthy, he could break the back of the political system and the insiders. I do think with Jeb's failure across the board, his underperformance, and that paleo diet, get this guy a cheeseburger. He's got no energy. He's just flat. There's no passion there. There's no can-do spirit. It's just somnambulant. This is why Trump is zooming past him.
And she says it's all about timing, when things may have been deemed as classified versus when she got them or sent them. So just
she also said she was under sniper fire in Bosnia.
Roger Stone, thank you very much.
I think one of the mistakes that analysts make is they look at the Republican primary electorate as monolithic. It is not monolithic. They're all different types of Republicans. Trump has said a number of things that would appear to violate the Republican orthodoxy, but I think that's because he appeals to a specific type of populist conservative within the Republican Party ranks. These are the same people that Reagan appealed to. Trump is the candidate of Main Street. He is not the candidate of Wall Street.
I want to ask you about Fiorina, too. Obviously, she's surging in the polls because the Republicans believe that she bested everyone in that debate. Do you see that lasting?
No, I really don't, because what it's brought with it is a scrutiny on her record. Between the layoffs, the outsourcing, now substantial evidence that she may have skillfully evaded sanctions to have HP do business in Iran, the fact that Barbara Boxer, using these very issues, dispatched her so easily in California, I think the bloom is off the rose. Plus the idea that she is an outsider. While it's true she's never held public office, she was the chief cheerleader for John McCain. There is the ultimate Washington insider. I remain a very strong supporter of
Right, you've been publicly saying, even after all this, you're not talking bad against Trump.
We go back a very long time. I have, Donald Trump came to my wedding. I went to 2 of his. I was at both his parents' funeral, his brother-in-law's funeral. I have great affection for Trump and the Trump family. I have wanted him to run for president since 1988. Donald Trump is running against, 15 pygmies and a brain surgeon, a brilliant brain surgeon. The ruling class is pissing their pants here. This guy is a challenge to the two-party duopoly that is running the government. He's a Manhattan real estate developer, and he's leading 14, 15 other experienced politicians. Why? Because he had a core message of taking on the system, fixing our broke immigration system, taking on China and Mexico, redoing these trade deals to bring jobs back to the country. He was a breath of fresh air.
Who would Donald Trump pick as a running mate?
Well, my view would be that at this juncture, I would look hard at Dr. Ben Carson and Carly Fiorina. First of all, an African-American would be used.
He slammed Carly Fiorina time and time again.
Yeah, and you know what? George Bush slammed Ronald Reagan, too, and he got on the ticket. Politics, let me add one other. Lyndon Johnson hated John Kennedy, and he got on the ticket. So politics is about winning. It's about inclusion. And I'd look at those two because they're non-politicians.
Did he tell you? Did he tell you that?
No, this is my opinion, but I think it's obvious from these poll numbers. The American people want bold solutions from people who aren't part of our fetid political system. Trump will either win Hispanic votes or not win them based on an economic vision. He's either going to offer Hispanics and all Americans prosperity, opportunity, jobs, a chance to recapture the American dream, or he's not. I think that is a more powerful message than illegal immigration, because most of the legal immigrants that I know, they're concerned about illegal immigration. Corruption is not an ideological issue. I don't care whether you're a liberal or a conservative or a Republican or a Democrat. You want a clean government that is not ruled by special interests. It's not an ideological issue. It's what is propelling Trump.